before you go and make that next haul, wait, see this video, and if any one of these are on there, you might want to reconsider picking them up. Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? My name is Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. So today we're going to be talking about fragrances that I bought once upon a time and they just don't work out for me. It could very have likely worked out at the time, or it could just be straight up trash. That's not the case with all of these, but I will say that since I've purchased a lot of these, they've just become outdated. And there might be like 3 or 4 different versions of the same fragrance that just perform better. And I've made a Clone War series, etc. So make sure you're staying up to date. If you are and you're watching my current videos, and you could easily do that by making sure to hit that subscribe button, then you probably already know of some of the best ones and some of the ones that have gotten updated and maybe came out and did even better. So let's go ahead and get started with one of the ones that I would personally not recommend for me, okay? This comes down to personal taste, like with many of these. It's not a bad fragrance by any means, but it's just not something that I would personally go out of my way to recommend, like at all. Unless you come up to me and say, Neeb, I need like a beast mode barbershop-y scent that just gives me Drakkar Noir vibes times 50, then I would recommend this. It's called Haramain Sheikh. This is a fragrance I made a video on, and it's just unbelievably strong. Like, this is a fragrance that if you want the neighborhood to smell you, you would have to spray.
We can smell him underwater.
Now, with that being said, because of its relationship to the whole Drakkar Noir vibe, right, it's pretty dated. There's still people that really enjoy that scent profile, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I would personally not go out of my way to recommend it. If somebody were to ask me for like a compliment getting fragrance, etc., then it won't be the one. Now, Dad, if you're looking for a fragrance and you like those classical barbershop-y style of scents, then it wouldn't be bad, because it's got performance, it's got projection, and it's really cheap.
Did you just call me butt dad?
You might be able to find this anywhere from $25 and below. You like Drakkar Noir, you want it done at an even like crazy nuclear level in terms of its performance, Haramain Sheikh. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably still rock scent profiles like Drakkar Noir and maybe even this one, and I'm not knocking it, but I just wouldn't compliment you. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Who cares? I didn't compliment you. Do you enjoy it? If you enjoy it, cool. But for me personally, I wouldn't recommend this one moving forward. Next one up on this list is gonna be Trophy Silver. And I'll tell you why. The only reason for this is going to be because it's extremely forgettable. It's a great smelling fragrance, but I just forgot what it smells like already. It's citrus and vetiver, and it smells like a Valentino Born in Roma. But Valentino Born in Roma, you can find it on discounters for like 65 bucks. And honestly, it's really not bad. I have to emphasize again, it smells good. And it's good for those of you who are just like going to school, going to the gym, etc. But I mean, you get like 5 to 6 hours of performance. For me, I'm not the craziest about freshies, but even then, I would still go with other cheapies that smell a little bit more unique than this, if you will. Now, I'll go on record saying that I'm not the craziest with freshies in general, right? But I do like a good, unique freshie. I still love the Born in Roma Intense. I love Coral Fantasy, and even Lattafa has a Coral Fantasy. But this one is just, it's just forgettable. Now, I wouldn't say it's a bad recommendation per se, but I'm not going out of my way to recommend this when somebody asks me for a freshie. I'd rather go for something that smells like higher end, like Percival, or something that just has a little bit more of a compliment factor, if you will. So if you want to be completely safe and you want to rock something that looks like this, then go for it. Born in Roma, the original, you can find it relatively cheap already, but you could still make the argument that it's maybe $30 more. Even in that case, Born in Roma original is like a good 7 out of 10. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I put it in a box, like with many of these fragrances, of like fragrances that I don't ever recommend or reference anymore because of either A, they've lost interest, B, there's better, or C, performance not that good, and lastly, it just smells like ass. This one doesn't smell like that. It's decent performance, 5 to 6 hours, but it's just uninteresting at this point. And that's pretty much it. That's the only reason I wouldn't recommend Lattafa's Winter Trophy Silver. Now, for those of you who are just getting in, this is kind of the dilemma where it's like, do you recommend it? Would you recommend it? I'm like, it's mid. For those who are literally just coming in, it might be a great fragrance because it's so easy, right? Let's say you're new into perfume and you want to grab a fresh fragrance that's just citrus and woods. This will be exactly that. But even then, there are definitely better and more interesting options as well. Moving into the next one, this is called L'uomo. And L'uomo was very promising, man. The scent profile is excellent. It's ginger, it's citruses. It smells a lot like YSL L'homme, except for the fact that this performance is just not there, man. Maybe 2.5 hours, and that's pretty much it. And I caked this sucker on. Smells virtually indistinguishable. I mean, it smells designer and it smells fantastic. should probably use this as a room spray now because it smells so freaking good. But dude, the performance, just like YSL L'homme, it's just not there. And for that reason, I probably wouldn't recommend this one. If you can find it for the right price, $25 or lower, it might be easier to like justify it, but even then, performance for this is just not it. Scent profile is amazing though, man. Smells like one of those white Haribo gummy bears. That's it. Moving on to the next one. This is called Al-Wataniya's Qahir. The scent profile is really good. The atomizer is really not good, and it smells a lot like YSL EDP. The quality of this one is fantastic. But since that clone war, there has been better alternatives. It's been stronger, it's longer lasting. And if you want to watch that YSL EDP clone war, it's just better quality all in general, like just in general. It does last longer. It costs maybe a little bit more than this one, but I would say that it's worth the slight increase in premium. Longevity for this is still okay. It's like 6 hours. By no means is it a bad fragrance, but like I said, man, there are better alternatives for YEDP. Something like our Moth's Odyssey Mega is exactly that. It's a better alternative. It's the best clone for YEDP. Moving on to the next one. This is called Noir de Arabi by Pandora Scents. This is good. And I'll just say that it's good. It's been a long time since I sprayed this bad boy, and it smells like saffron, vanilla, and woods. But since its inception, since it's come out, there's quite a few better ones. Mountain Dew Paris by Grandeur smells a little bit closer. And also Khadlaj has Secret Musk, which is an even more vanillic take. Mountain Dew Paris grounds it in between something that's also metallic, spiced saffron with some vanilla and woods, whereas Secret Musk is a lot more enhanced in the vanilla, and this one is more enhanced in the metallic. And for that reason, I'm not really the craziest about this one personally. So as of right now, both of those recommendations would be better than this, and that's pretty much it for the whole Arabian's Tonka and why I wouldn't recommend it. It still smells okay, there's no problem with it, but the only thing is the longevity for it, not the freaking best. Moving on to the next one, this is called Satwa by Arda Za'faran. And this smells like vanilla, even some rose and cream, and it has some citruses at the top as well by Arda Za'faran, sister company to Lattafa. Now, the scent profile of this one doesn't really perform the best. It does have a floral nuance that's different. I like it. I really do appreciate the differences. But nowadays, especially with Spectre Ghost by Fragrance World, it's easily better than all of them. So if you want the best fragrance that's inspired by Ani, it would be Spectre Ghost. It's got the longevity, it's got the quality over this one, including Nashit and all those other ones, and overall a better smelling scent profile. Pressurized atomizer, longevity, it's that vanilla cream with some citrus done at the absolute best way. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a couple of fragrances I wouldn't recommend anymore and why. If they're on this list, doesn't mean they're trash or bad pickups, but very specific reasons that I mentioned in the beginning of this video or while presenting them for those reasons of being on this list. My name is Neeb. Let me know down in the comment section which one of these you have, you regret, or what you think in general. It might actually help somebody who's looking into grabbing something like Trophy Silver, which I had a hard time putting on this list, but I had to stay true to the origins and the name of this video, which is going to be fragrances I just don't recommend anymore. Doesn't mean it's trash, just not something I'd recommend. Hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. I mean, I know this fragrance has been sitting for a while, but I don't think it got that strong. It actually smells pretty strong right now. It just didn't last.